As crazy as it sounds, the Houston Texans still have their toughest opponent on the schedule for this season if they want to make some noise. Who is it and what does it mean and how do they overcome that opponent? We'll talk about it over the course of this one. DeMeco Ryans has a tremendous amount of respect for the Cardinals. I do too, to an extent, and so much more to get to about this Houston Texans team. Your chance to win a CJ Stroud rookie card and oh so much more. Welcome into the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans. The caffeine du jour today, a Ghost Sour Green Apple Warheads energy drink. Let's see what we got here. This looks a little iffy. I don't know if I'm going to love this one or not. Okay, that's pretty good. No, that is sour, though. Okay, that'll probably be the last time I have the sour green apple warhead. The sour green apple warhead energy drink. Ooh, okay, I don't love that. In fact, I wish I'd gotten a different one at this point. Okay, who's the Texans' biggest opponent here? Because you're looking at this Texans team, and as you watch them, and as I watch them, we all believe that they are contenders here in the AFC. Certainly with that defense that they have. They're a contender each and every week. And heading into a playoff run, they could be a contender all the way through this thing going to San Francisco, this thing going to the Super Bowl. They have a Super Bowl caliber defense, but there's still an opponent that can derail all of this for the Houston Texans. And no, it's not the Arizona Cardinals who are coming to NRG Stadium on Sunday. And it's not the Las Vegas Raiders who are the opponents after that. And yeah, that Chargers team out in Los Angeles, which is now a Saturday afternoon game that week, the next to last week of the NFL season, that's a pretty dangerous opponent because they can kind of just gut it out and make something happen. But that's not who I'm talking about either. And it's surely not the Colts who are led by Riley Leonard or Phillip Rivers or whoever the hell else they run out there at quarterback. And it's not these teams at the top of the AFC, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New England Patriots, the Denver Broncos. Those are not the teams that can derail the Houston Texans. The team that can derail the Houston Texans is simply the Houston Texans. It's the man in the mirror. It's the team in the mirror, so to speak. And it's one thing that they are a little bit in control of that they need to be much better. And then there's one thing where they just made their bed and they have to lie in it if it gets to that point. And the first part about this, the opponent in the mirror, the foe in the mirror, if you will, for the Houston Texans, the mirror enemy number one is the offense. This offense has the ability to prop up or get propped up by this defense and take this team to a whole new level. This offense has the ability to go out there, settle down, play a decent level of offense, and help this team go on a Super Bowl run. This offense also has the ability to go out there and tear down everything that the defense has worked for and that the defense has built. And that is a far more likely outcome than this offense going out there, figuring things out and helping take them to the Super Bowl. It is a precarious spot for this offense right now. And there are things that are constantly showing up for this offense that make it a long-term worry and make it, as I've deemed it, mirror enemy number one. There's just operational things that this team does poorly that hold them back. There's just things and elements of this team that keep them from being successful as an offense. And DeMeco Ryans earlier this week talked about the offense and was pretty critical of how the offense played. Now, he's talking about specifically this one game when he's talking about this, and you hear this clip in a moment. But really, isn't he talking about the sum of the whole season for this offense when you hear him talk?
Offensively, I think we have to improve upon, specifically in the half and coming out at the beginning of the second half is not good enough for us. We got to move the ball better in those situations. All right. And when it comes to the pressures, there's things to learn from. We got to operate much faster. with just the timing of everything, getting the play calls in and out of the huddle, getting the line properly, making the right ID, getting guys picked up the proper way. Like, we have to operate more efficiently. We have to operate with much more urgency on the offensive side of the football. You'll continue to see those type of pressures, right, that showed up. So there's a lot of room for improvement there, and we have to see that improvement very quickly.
Have to see that improvement very quickly. And he's right. You definitely have an opportunity to improve in these final 4 weeks of the season, but you need to see it. And the unfortunate part is things that DeMeco Ryans are talking about in that clip are things that were issues in the 0-3 start. There were issues that kept you from getting to 500 against the Seattle Seahawks, that kept you from getting to 500 against the Denver Broncos, that kept you from really putting the pedal to the metal and putting the foot down on the gas against some of these teams that you should have had bigger offensive showings against. Now, I can take the Davis Mills games and plop them out of this conversation, but CJ Stroud led games throughout the course of this season. They've had operation issues. They've had issues where they've created their own pressure. They've had issues where the quarterback hasn't handled pressure really well. They've had issues where teams trying stuff that worked against them previously has worked. Now, they have managed around some of those things, and they've found paths to victory, and they've found ways to win football games, but the offense has been in the way more in 2025 than it has helped. And if it gets in the way again, it has the chance to spoil what could be a really fun season. And the offense is, well, it's not easy. DeMeco Ryans talked about operation. He talked about really fine-tuning some things, hurrying some things up, speeding some things up pre-snap so that stuff like that doesn't happen. So they have time to get everybody set, and they're not erasing big plays with illegal formations. So they have everybody on the line. Everybody knows the snap count. Everybody can hear it. And I asked CJ Stroud, hey, DeMeco Ryans talked about pre-snap operation and really getting into a groove, speeding some things up, going a speed that you want so that hopefully you can avoid some of those mistakes. And Stroud said, yeah, that sounds great. It's not as easy as it sounds, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I think, our play calls, aren't short and it can get loud. So, it's sometimes, getting in there, I'm yelling as loud as I can. And, we're super tight in the huddle trying to, hear everything. And sometimes, things just happen and, it sucks because, those sometimes take away big plays or stop momentum. So, it's something we got to get fixed. And, just me trying to communicate as best as I can. But yeah, I think, it's not always going to be easy. And, how you weather the storm, those things do happen because it is a part of the game, and hopefully you try to eliminate it. But, in a way atmosphere is when you're motioning like we are and like doing a bunch of shifts and, fast motions, like, we all just got to be locked into what we're doing.
There's certainly elements of this offense that aren't complicated. The play calls are long. CJ Stroud talked about it. They have motions. They have shifts. They do things pre-snap, and maybe that is there to help prop up this offense that struggles. And it was one of the things that we were hoping to see as Nick Caley took over as the offensive coordinator all the way back at the beginning of this year. It was a little bit more motions, a little bit more pre-snap adjustments of the offense to maximize the situation. It just hasn't clicked on a consistent level, and it hasn't clicked at a very high level for this Texans team. And so mirror enemy number one is the offense. I got no worries about this defense. Okay. I got no worries about the defense, but the enemy in the mirror that is the offense, it could hold them back. The defense creates an incredibly high ceiling for this team. It creates as well an incredibly high floor and foundation for this team. The offense can go in there and they can add to the ceiling if they have a good day. And they can also rip up that foundation and lower the floor of this team pretty quickly if they're having a bad day. So mirror enemy number one. And is there a way to change it? Is there a way to adjust it? Are there chances that it could end up being to an acceptable level throughout the course of this season? Yeah, there is. I'd be foolish to tell you that I think that there's nothing that's going to change. I just don't have high hopes that they're going to be able to consistently be a good enough offense that we're thinking, hey, they are a Super Bowl contender. But they got 4 weeks in the regular season to try to figure that thing out. And they got 4 weeks to figure out paths to being successful as an offense to the point where they can help that defense finish off these games and take care of the business. Now, mirror enemy number 2 is something that it's pretty tough to adjust, and some of it's their fault and some of it's not totally their fault, and that's just simply depth. And this is a team that doesn't have a tremendous amount of depth at some key positions and some key spots. And really, mostly, I'm talking about over on offense, though there are a couple of bits and pieces of the defense that would worry me a little bit. Let's talk specifically about offense, and let's go to the running back position. Woody Marks has been used like a running back 1 for the better part of a month now. And that is not the best way to use Woody Marks, but that's the best way for this offense to use Woody Marks right now and for them to operate because they don't have a lot of other options. And now with Nick Chubb injured, Woody Marks also missed practice yesterday. The running back situation and the lack of depth at that position all of a sudden becomes a very clear reality and a very scary reality as well. The Texans do not have a lot of talent at running back when everyone's healthy. Woody Marks is hobbled. Nick Chubb has a rib injury. They don't have much running back talent when that is the case for that room. So that's something that they can't fix right now. There's no solve-it-all equation out there for the Texans. There's no awesome free agent that they could bring in that would really fix the running back room. Joe Mixon's not coming back. The depth at running back becomes a big question because even if Stroud and the passing attack got a little bit better and the defense stayed at the same level, if Dare Ogunbowale is your number 1 running back, you're going to be having tough time scoring enough points to beat teams. If Nick Chubb with a rib injury is your number 1 running back, you may have a tough time scoring points. If Woody Marks has a knee issue that hangs around for a few weeks and takes his level of play down a little bit, it may be tougher to handle opposing defenses than it has been for this offense. So running back is one. You think about the offensive line. Yeah, there's some options at guard. They can mix and match and adjust and change a few things, and they've played Juice Scruggs a little bit, and they've played Jared Patterson a little bit, but they've kind of figured out their guard situation as well as their center situation. But if they had a big-time tackle injury, you'd be talking about a big shift. You'd be talking about a big adjustment, a big change, and they don't have a left tackle. Trent Brown has filled in nicely and taken over that right tackle spot, and if he didn't go or couldn't go, you just put Titus Howard back out there, but there's no backup for Ariante Ursery. That's a little bit of a depth concern. Now, a lot of teams have depth concerns behind their starting left tackle. The Texans just have literally nobody that I feel confident could go out there and give you what Ursery has been giving you, which, by the way, he's settled in quite nicely in that left tackle spot. After a little bit more roller coastery start, Ursery feels like he's kind of gliding and rolling right now at that left tackle spot. Again, that's an issue for a lot of teams. Depth might be a question mark for most of the teams that are headed to the playoffs this time of year, but the Texans specifically, it's a situation where they can't fix it. If something big happened on the offensive line, there'd be a shuffle and adjustment, and some of that cohesiveness and some of that solidness that they've built here over the past couple of weeks could be a little bit of an issue. You flip it over to defense, they don't have a backup for Jalen Petrie, and clearly Petrie brings their defensive prowess to a little bit higher level than when you don't have Jalen Petrie. The safety situation's getting a little precarious, okay? The safety situation is a little iffy. All right, Miles Bryant playing a lot. They've got Petrie playing safety a lot as well when they put 3 linebackers on the field. So, you know, you've had C.J. Gardner-Johnson get released. M.J. Stewart got hurt. Jalen Reed got hurt. That's not something that the Texans planned poorly for. It just happens to be something you're going to pay a little bit of attention to when it comes to the safety spot, and then at cornerback as well. The reality of Kamari Lassiter almost missing the game last week, they're clearly a much, much better defense when you have Stingley. And Kamari Lassiter's got an injury. He didn't practice yesterday. They're probably going to have to manage and limit him until he is feeling better throughout the course of the rest of the season. And that might be a season-long thing they have to manage. Again, not necessarily a criticism on how they operated, like, for instance, the running back room. because they had Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith got hurt. Teron Smith's a backup, and he's a fine player, but you wouldn't want a whole game of Teron Smith out there opposite Derek Stingley. So a little bit of a precarious position for depth on this team in a couple of different key spots: running back, tackle, and then safety, secondary depth. Some of it by their own doing. They decided to have this running back room, and some of it by bad luck. The secondary's been dinged up a little bit, and they've had a higher number of injuries than they could have planned for in the secondary. So while the Cardinals and the Raiders and the Chargers and the Indianapolis Colts are on the schedule, and a matchup with the Denver Broncos or the Pittsburgh Steelers or the New England Patriots or the Jacksonville Jaguars is potentially on the docket when the Texans get to the playoffs, the biggest enemy in the mirror for the Houston Texans. That's their greatest foe. That's the one that they have to keep from beating them, because the Texans early on this season did a very good job of helping the opponents beat the Houston Texans. They've limited that to a large degree, especially on this 5-game winning streak. And if they don't help the opponent, they're going to have as good a chance as any, but be a contender in the AFC and maybe play in their first ever AFC championship game. We'll talk a little bit about the Cardinals. We'll talk a little bit about what to say, some things that CJ Stroud said that I thought were interesting. Your comments, questions, joys, and concerns as well. We'll do all that after I tell you about my friends at Sleeper. Sleeper is daily fantasy, and man, it is so much fun playing a sleeper. You're making a couple of statistical predictions. You're putting them together into one entry, and if you win all those statistical predictions, you're going to multiply your money, sometimes 20 times, sometimes 30 times. And then sometimes maybe you take a little bit of the risk of that equation. It's just 5 times your entry. It's a lot of fun over there at Sleeper. And right now, you're going to get a $20 entry with no deposit required for free when you use my code STOOTS, STOOTS. The terms and conditions do apply. Check out Sleeper's terms and conditions. But my code STOOTS is going to get you a free $20 entry, no deposit required. Plus, you're going to get a deposit match up to $100 when you sign up at Sleeper with my code STOOTS, STOOTS. And we put together a Sleeper entry each and every week, and I feel good about this one this week. I've already been looking and perusing, trying to put it together. We're going to have it for you tomorrow morning right here on the channel, so don't miss out on that. But excited for you to check out Sleeper for daily fantasy. It's also a great scores app as well. It's my go-to scores app. It's how I keep track of all the action on NFL Sunday when college football is going crazy. It's a great scores app, and it's the place to play daily fantasy. Use my code STOOTS, STOOTS, when you get signed up at Sleeper. Your comments, your questions, your joys, your concerns, and a couple of more things to tell you about, plus how you can win a CJ Stroud rookie card as well, giving those away. Super chats or member chats, go to the front of the line, but we'll get to all the comments, questions, joys, and concerns that I can get to. Zach Ducks, smash that like button. He's been a member of the channel for 9 months. Of course, you get the custom emojis as a member of the channel, get access to recorded videos early on the channel as well. So plenty to like about being a member here of the channel, and certainly appreciate your support and appreciate you. Zach Hackashack, morning, Cody. We should run no huddle some this week. Yeah, man, this get things moving, take some of the thinking away, simplify some things so that everybody knows where to go and what to do, and just kind of get some things going. Though their end of halves have been a little iffy. So it's not like they're like amazing at no huddle, but certainly simplifying some of the issues that have caused some of the slower offense. There might be something to that, Hackashack. I kind of like that. All right, let's see what we got here. Mr. Bo on the top, good to see you. Grizzlies got caffeine this morning. Watermelon Jolly Rancher C4. And then I said, I might need to check out that C4. And then Animal says, don't do it, Cody. Those things will make you itchy and cracked out. Patrick recommends crack with Cody. We're not going to do that. JB Allen, the Annihilator, good to see you. Bubblehead, good to see you. Be checking the mail, JB. I think you're the one that won the card the other day, right? Cody, did you happen to see the YouTube short the Texans posted about the persistence and patience of Cal McNair? I did. CJ Stroud, he missed Cal McNair for a high five the other day, and the Texans social media crew were able to remedy that it looked like. So that was a fun video. That was a well-played job by everybody involved. So that was a good one, Hackashack. Leaning Tower Pants says, do they still make Red Line? I remember those being strong back in the day. When I worked at Smoothie King back in the day, we sold Red Lines. And we had to give if somebody bought more than one, we had to be like, please don't drink both of them. Please only drink one at a time. But yeah, Red Line used to be, that stuff was speed, liquid speed. Good morning, Zach. Otherworld Ambience. Hello, Spank Boy. Again, Spank Boy's unofficial nickname, not approved nickname. So, that's I don't know where it came from. Cody, thoughts on Barstool's Big Cat choosing the Texans as his pinking team, meaning if they win the Super Bowl, he amputates the tip of his pinky. Well, that's weird, but would be fun for us, less fun for him. And I wonder if there's a way that Big Cat would slime out of that. Like maybe he could donate to charity and not have to donate his pinky. Sophia says, we can't take anybody lightly, one game at a time, and then Monster Zero Ultra Zero Sugar. Yeah, the old I think that's the White Monster, isn't it? That's a good one. It's an oldie but a goodie. Tazewell, morning, Cody. I had the Rain Dreamsicle last week, mixed it up for my White Monsters. It was delicious. That Rain Dreamsicle is good. BG's in here. JB is in here. The offense is our biggest opponent. That's what I think, man. It's not the Cardinals, not the Raiders, it's not any of these playoff teams that they're going to go against. It's themselves. I mean, if they take care of their business on offense, I have a high level of faith in this defense. A high level of faith in this defense. Have you seen the D'Amico interview on Pardon My Take yesterday? They opened it up by telling him the offense stinks. Well, I kind of think he probably agrees based on his comments earlier this week. Poncelios, good to see you. JB Allen, Stroud about to go on a run a la Flacco in Baltimore, Eli in New York. We're going to the Super Bowl. It's building to be one hell of a story. Buddy, from your lips to God's ears, that'd be great. Look at JB's beautiful little hat in his profile picture. Beast Mode says, go Texans. Those BB's wings were fire, Cody. Yeah, they got some great food over there, BB's. 4 tough opponents left, the clock, timeouts, communication, and the refs. Mike, that's funny. That's funny. At prime time, there are some opportunities, certainly, for this team here in the next few weeks to figure some things out on offense. You're not facing hard defenses by any means. I mean, this is a stretch here where if you've got anything left to kind of settle down and figure some things out, you've got some opponents that you can do it against. And Patrick says, don't sleep on poor operation as another opponent. Yeah, there's some hiccups. There's some issues. And that's probably the disappointing part. If I just felt like they were untalented or injuries caught up to them, or just simply, hey, the offensive line's bad and they didn't fix it, and that was what caused everything, it'd be a little easier to stomach. But it feels like there's so many things wrong that are the job and in the purview of the guy that they brought in to change and take to the next level this offense. That's probably the part that you run into the most when you're like, God, this offense is disappointing. Do you agree with Landry that Stroud doesn't appreciate Marks' pass catching abilities? That was wild yesterday. Just, yeah, he doesn't care. That was like the first thing CJ mentioned was how good Woody catches the ball. Catch that on the SNL show from yesterday if you haven't seen that. Ashton says, morning, everybody. Kaylee's the worst OC in football and is just so lost. I'd be okay moving on from him now. We just can't get much worse. I don't think they're going to move on from him now, but there are elements of the season, just little moments where it's like, okay, I can imagine D'Amico Ryans isn't in love with that from the offense and in love with that from the offense. And the comment that we played from earlier this week, I mean, just one of those things where put a pin in it and think about it should they have to make a tough decision with this offensive situation. Gunner, good to see you. Good morning, Cody. What's your opinion on Cody Schrader? Is he potential number 2 or 3, number 4? So if you don't know who Cody Schrader is a player that claimed off of waivers this week. He's a running back. Hasn't played much here in the NFL. Been bouncing around for 2 years between the Rams and the Jaguars. But he played really good football his final year at Missouri. He was awesome. I think 1,600 rushing yards in the SEC. I think that's what it was. Had a really, really strong finish to his career, including 100-yard games against Georgia, 200-yard game against Tennessee, and a 100-yard game against Ohio State in a bowl game that he played in. Schrader is an intriguing player. I think he has something. I don't know if they can get him in the building, get him up to speed to the point where you'd want to play him over some of the guys they have. But if you don't have Nick Chubb, if you don't have Woody Marks, or if Woody Marks is hobbled at all, maybe you see what Schrader's got. I kind of like Schrader. He was a guy that I liked in the draft process a couple years ago. Okay. Looks fluid catching the ball in the backfield, too. I do not like that energy drink. God. Ghost, what are we doing? What are we doing? The problem is good OCs don't grow on trees. Yeah, that's true, but I think you keep trying until you get it right. And if Nick Haley gets it right enough, or they have enough success that they want to run it back with him, so be it. But if they feel like the offense held him back and the OC was the reason, then, he meets the same fate that Bobby meets. Our defense ensures the offense only needs 2 TDs, a couple of field goals in the playoffs. I'm thinking May, Nix, T-Law, Rogers can lead 4+ scoring drives on this defense. I'm not thinking May, Nix. Yeah, that's the thing, is your defense is the key to all of this. If you have excellent defensive performance, it's going to make things easier for the offense. It's been easy for the offense a handful of times, and it still hasn't gone out there and looked good enough. It'd just be nice to just handle a team. They just haven't handled a team. Just go handle somebody. I don't understand the long developing routes Kelly's calling after KC was going blitz after blitz. Yeah, even like the Chiefs in this game, Mahomes didn't have a great game, and the offense for the Chiefs didn't have a great game, but like some of their quick stuff to neutralize the Texans pass rush was there. And certainly when the Texans would bring some heat, they had some sideways stuff. They had some, why is my head itch so much? They had some sideways stuff. They had some quick stuff. Like even the quick stuff wasn't quick enough from Nick Haley from a call standpoint. And look, CJ Stroud takes some responsibility for that as well. I mean, he said as much yesterday that he felt like he didn't handle the pressure well. And actually, that's what I want to talk about here. So thanks for the alley-oop and thanks for the layup. We'll talk about that here right after I tell you about my friends over at the Y Factor. Look, if you're a male over 30, you need to take your health seriously, and I'm doing that now with my friends at the Y Factor. Men's urological health, very important for longevity, taking care of your testosterone, other hormones in your body, understanding your cholesterol, and all those various other things. My friends at the Y Factor can help you out with all of that. I-10 and Campbell is where you can find them. Huge parking lot to park at, opportunities to use your insurance to get checked out. But man, they do just about anything and everything that you would need to take care of your health as a male. And I'm excited to talk with them about figuring some things out. I went and got my blood work done last week. I hadn't had blood work done in a long time. I haven't had an annual checkup done in a long time. They were like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I know a lot of you watching haven't had your annual checkup, or haven't had blood work done, or haven't ever checked out what your testosterone level is. And look, I got some of those test results back, and I'm excited to find out how the Y Factor is going to help me deal with some of those things that I want to deal with. Plus, there's various other things the Y Factor does. Okay. Men's fertility is just important as women's fertility. So maximizing your part in naturally conceiving children, that's what the Y Factor can help you with. Maybe you don't want to have children anymore. You want to have that non-scalpel vasectomy. Yeah, the Y Factor has done thousands of them, and they do them right there on well. So many different ways to take care of your health. The Y Factor can help you out with all of them. And once you find out what you're dealing with, different plans to treat you with. It's not just, oh, you got low testosterone, jab you full a bunch of steroids and send you home with a syringe and tell you to do it. No, they've got lots of different options and treatment plans. You'll find one that works for you, just like I'm going to find that works for me with all the things that, tell you what, the big fella's cholesterol, it's a little high. I didn't realize that it was a little high. I had a pretty good suspicion, but the Y Factor is going to help me figure out that, as well as any of the other things that those test results show up. So annual blood work to vasectomies to anything dealing with urological health, the Y Factor can help you out. When you go, tell them you heard about them right here on Houston Football with Cody Stoots, and they'll get you feeling tip-top. They'll get you headed in the right direction from a health standpoint. I'm really excited to start getting my health on the radar and taking care of myself and making sure that we're all around as long as we need to be around to watch the Texans hoist that Lombardi. Can't do that if you're not healthy, and you can get healthier with my friends at the Y Factor. So get your health on track with the Y Factor. Hey, it's about to be the new year. You're going to think about getting healthy. You're going to think about losing weight, going to the gym. How about going to the doctor? If you hadn't been to the doctor in a long time, my friends at the Y Factor can help you out with anything you might need from a men's urological health standpoint. Again, tell them Cody Stoots sent you. So CJ and handling the pressure. I think there's an element of Stroud can do things that few quarterbacks can do. And I also feel like there's an element of there's a little bit more that CJ Stroud can do. And I also feel like there's an element of you may just need CJ Stroud to be awesome and put the cape on from time to time for this offense. We saw it in Kansas City, and it's good because you didn't need to see it against Indianapolis. You saw a couple of nice plays here and there, but you kind of needed the cape to come on a couple of times against Kansas City. And that's good because the cape went on plenty in 2023. The cape was on a couple of times in 2024. If CJ can still go put the cape on, be Superman in a game, that can overcome some of your offensive issues. But Stroud says, hey, you handle this, handle that. He can do a little bit better. And if he is telling the truth, then maybe some of these issues on offense are a little bit more solvable than they looked in the middle of Sunday Night Football. Stroud said, hey, I didn't handle the pressure as well as I wanted to, but I know what to do.
I feel like I could have did a better job at it, in the calm and the chaos. I got hit a couple of times, and, that happens. You start to, kind of naturally flinch a little bit and, move around for no reason. But on that specific play, I just seen Woody and just try to make a play. And thought he did a good job of just being instinctive and, making them pay for, being aggressive. So, yeah, I think I could have did a better job on that on Sunday, but it's something I can learn from and, try to be calm in that because it's not easy, but the better you can do it, the more plays are to be made, especially on third down. So I think that's something that I can get better at is, just being calm in that chaos of, pressure, guys flying on your feet, hitting you after the whistle or whatever the case may be. And I just, want to, be able to put my team in better position, so.
There's something that Stroud's mentioned a couple of times over the course of this year, and it sounds like a negative for this offense, but I wonder if there's like a tiny bit of a positive for specifically CJ Stroud. Now, I don't think it needs to be as complicated as it sounds on offense, the long play calls, the tremendous amount of things that takes the clock down to damn near zero, and Stroud's doing the snap it to me thing that we see guys do when they got to hurry up. I don't think that that's always necessary, but certainly there's parts and pieces of this offense that you need to see and hear and have to maybe go where you want to go. But Stroud's acknowledged time and time again that various things about playing quarterback are hard. They're not easy. They're difficult. And that is something that I've kind of noticed over the course of the season. And it might sound like a negative, but I also feel like for CJ specifically, there's an element of a positive to that. And here's what I mean. Last year, Stroud at the end of the year, paraphrasing here, basically said he thought the NFL was going to be easier in year two after it was easy in year one. And he needed to adjust, focus, and understand that it wasn't going to be easy. And so him being able to identify what is difficult and understanding in the course of those games and throughout the season what is hard, what he needs to work on, and how he needs to fix those things, that potentially creates an avenue for Stroud to be consistent at what he does, which hopefully will spread to the rest of the offense and make things a little bit better. But handling pressure, understanding some of those things, certainly CJ could do maybe those things a tiny bit better. And I believe him when he says it. I also understand that if it's as good as it was in Kansas City from Stroud's performance standpoint on a week in, week out basis, you're going to time or two to make some noise here in the AFC and make some noise here down the stretch. But if it gets even better from CJ Stroud, they're really going to be headed in the right direction from an offensive standpoint. But yeah, CJ's kind of tough on himself this year and maybe overly tough. But I also wonder, too, if it's maybe one of those eyes on his own paper thing. It's like, I just need to be excellent and not worry about the guy with the headset, not worry about this or that. Just take care of mine, make sure my teammates are in the right spot doing their thing. And maybe that can help settle things down here for this offense. So I think there's a little bit of hope via Stroud for this offense. We started talking about the offense and it being an enemy, a mirror enemy for the Texans. There's a little bit of hope via Stroud. If he plays at a high level, that things will just work. And sometimes the quarterback has to overcome the offensive situation. A couple of comments, questions, joys, and concerns. Mark with the super chat says, I just want to see more dump offs. Yeah, Mark, you and me both. You and me both. Just Woody Marks right out there in the open field, get him the ball. Real easy stuff. Real easy stuff. So, Mark, appreciate you for the super chat. 300 Ado, appreciate the coverage, Cody. Appreciate you, Ado. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate you for checking out the show and the super chat. Thank you. Look, Landry Locker from the locker room is here, and he says that he's eating wings and pizza tomorrow. Where are you eating wings and pizza, Landry? Well, you're eating wings and pizza at Spanky's. Spanky's tomorrow. SNL live broadcast tomorrow. Arrive at 3, live at 4, and we're doing a toy drive benefiting Bear Houston's. Be a Resource Houston. It helps out kids who are at-risk kids, found themselves in child protective services, maybe not having or on schedule to have a great holiday. Bear helps out so that they can have a fantastic holiday season. Bring a new and unwrapped toy to Spanky's, and we'll give you a raffle ticket. We got some fun stuff to give away. There'll be some gift cards. There'll be some other things. There'll be some football cards that we're giving away. So if you bring a toy to Spanky's tomorrow for the live broadcast, we're going to give you a raffle ticket, and then we'll raffle off some fun stuff. And it's going to go support a great cause, and you're going to have an opportunity to eat some great pizza, drink some great drinks, and watch a great show. I'll promise I have a great performance. I can't promise for Landry that he'll have a great performance. I hope he will be in a better mood because I hope that by that point we'll know Woody Marks is playing. And, maybe he'll feel better about the running back seasonal depression that he has and that he showcased yesterday. Hopefully. But we're going to have some fun at Spanky's. It's going to be a great time right there on Bel Air Boulevard in Sharpstown. And, again, bring a new unwrapped toy, and we'll have a big toy box. We're going to put it in. I'm going to take it over to Be a Resource and get the kiddos some toys here for the holiday season. So SNL Toy Drive benefiting Bear Houston at Spanky's tomorrow, this Friday, tomorrow. It's not 24 hours from now because that'd be 9 a.m., but you get the gist tomorrow afternoon. So see you at Spanky's. Appreciate everybody who has said they're coming or talked about the toys and things like that. So we're going to have some fun. JB Allen asks, can we just sign Dameon Pierce back from Kansas City if he's not elevated from their practice squad? I just don't think Damien's very good at football right now. And I don't think that you can trust him, and he's a solution if they have running back issues. If he was, then they wouldn't have let him get out the building, I don't think. Patty says, good morning, Cody. Good morning to you, Patty. Nick says, depth of tackle an issue league-wide because the Chargers have turned through every single possible one. Yeah, if you can sniff a somewhat useful rep at tackle, the Chargers would like to talk to you. Mike says, I'm planning on making the trip from Fort Worth to Spanky's tomorrow. Mike, that's great, man. Thank you. Come on down and hang out with us at Spanky's. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to get you ready for the Cardinals, talk a little bit about this AFC playoff landscape and how you too can avoid seasonal running back depression. I think my friends at the Y Factor can help you out with that. Maybe I need to send Landry over there. Maybe they can help cure his seasonal running back depression. Wesley says, just joining, been intrigued with Jawar Jordan since he came in. Again, I don't. Yeah, Jawar Jordan certainly has an opportunity to play if Chubb and or Woody are out. He's on the practice squad. He's been around the team for, almost 2 years now. And I don't think it's ever clicked totally for Jawar Jordan, but he looked better in training camp this year than he did last year. So maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something there. Landry said last night he's Spank Boy number 1. I don't know if he said that or not. I am unsure if Landry created the Spank Boys name like people have claimed. I'm unsure if he's on board with it or not on board with it. JB Allen calling for an upset this weekend. Jets beat the Jaguars. Wouldn't that be nice? Give the Texans a pretty clear path to the AFC South if they take care of their business. Mike asks, Cody, if you tried Mio Energy, highly recommend the black cherry. Too much and you'll feel like you enjoyed some snow. Golly, Mike. All right, so the Mio Energy. I think Landry's a Mio Energy guy, or has been at some point. I know he's put the stuff in his water before. Yeah, man. Morning, Stoots. Love opening my cards. Thanks to you. It's very addicting. What are your Thursday night football picks? Yeah, I think the card ripping and conversation got Yamain into cards, and now he's buying up cards, and hopefully you've gotten some cool stuff and some stuff for your private collection, and then maybe stuff you want to trade or do stuff like that. So yeah, Thursday night football tonight, man. Let's see here. I wonder exactly what we've got going on for Thursday night football. Tampa coming off of a very disappointing performance against the New Orleans Saints. Atlanta playing Kirk Cousins, 4.5-point favorite for the Buccaneers at home. I got to imagine they're not having 2 huge disappointments in a row. Tampa's having some weird stuff go on. They're signing JPP to the practice squad. They got nothing, but might have Mike Evans back in this one. And I guess there's a chance they're wearing the creamsicles. So I like Tampa big if they're wearing the creamsicles. So I'll go Tampa big on this one. Okay. Tampa big on this one. Rico with the super chat. We are the only team in the NFL with no hard count. They don't have time. They get to the line of scrimmage with 3 seconds left, and then CJ's got to move 15 guys, and then he's got to snap it before it's a delay of game. Yeah, they got no time for hard counts, Rico. I'm being facetious, but really it kind of feels that way. Kind of feels that way. The offense just needs to score 17 points. 17 probably win it most weeks. Now, playoffs, you may need a little bit more, but 17 does feel like a good number. I would sign up for 17 for the next 2 weeks. You should be able to win with 17 the next 2 weeks, though. I'm not going to complain if they score more. Chabaho looking for at least 20. They could beat a lot of people if they score in 20. A lot of people. Sean says, I'm not sure Kaylee's really the problem. The offensive line is so bad they have made everyone, including CJ, look horrendous. Yeah, I don't agree with you. The offensive line's had some nice moments. They've had some really, high floor moments, and I just think Nick Kaylee's had some really bad moments with the headset. So I tend to disagree with you on that one. Look, if the offensive line's having a bad day, you're not going to have to go far to find me criticizing them. All right, you're not going to have to go real far to find me calling them out. 21 Savage, there was 0 adjustments in that third quarter. Might have been the most frustrating football I watched all season, and there's been some stressful quarters. They looked lost. I mean, Kansas City was just hammering them with blitzes, and with guys at the line of scrimmage, they were running into nowhere. They were burning offensive snaps on running the football right into a loaded box, and that was tough. That was tough. That was one of the toughest quarters of football to watch, and it looked like it was going to, help piss away what would have been an incredible win. Ultimately, they ended up getting it. And the offense found something there in the fourth quarter, moved the football on the short field after Andy Reid went for it. So credit to them for taking advantage of that opportunity. So I'll only consider this a successful season if we make the AFC Championship. I mean, that's fair. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, they had to go further than they did last year, and the next step from where they were last year is to be in the AFC Championship game. Spank Boys stickers. I don't think I'm doing Spank Boys merch. No, I don't think so. Mike, I should have been in the hospital, but I passed to watch us beat the Chiefs. Mike, what are you doing going to the hospital? They got TVs in the hospital. You could have done both, right? You could have done both. Okay. Let's take a look at the playoff picture. Some of these teams, some of their opponents this weekend. Do that in just a second. But I want to tell you about my friends over at One Stop Card Shop. So One Stop Card Shop over there in Bel Air. This is their Facebook page. Okay, this is how we're giving away the card this week. This is the Facebook page, One Stop Card Shop TX. Okay, so you need to go follow them on Facebook because this is how we're giving away the card this week. All right, and the card we're giving away this week, look at this beauty. It is a numbered to 199 CJ Stroud. I believe the number we got on this one is 155. I got a fancy new light box to take pictures of stuff. So we're going to giving away a CJ Stroud numbered Topps Chrome Black rookie card. Look at this thing. It's gorgeous. Okay, when they showed me this, I was like, man, I love the look of this card. Okay, so you're going to get this. You're going to get some other cards from my personal collection. I'll throw in some players from some other teams, some other Texans as well. And then somebody else is going to win some cards on their own. So we're going to give two winners this week. All right, two winners this week. Somebody's going to win this one, the Topps Chrome Black CJ Stroud rookie card, and someone else going to win some other Texans cards. And I package them up and ship them right to you all thanks to my friends at One Stop Card Shop. How do I win them, Cody? How do I win the card from One Stop Card Shop? Well, that's a great question. Okay, so I mentioned One Stop Card Shop on Facebook. Okay, they've got a post about gift cards being available. All right, it's from November 17th at 3:13 p.m. Gift cards available to One Stop Card Shop. You know somebody in your life that likes cards? You can buy a gift card at One Stop Card Shop and then go in and spend it on whatever they want. Maybe they want to buy a big, fancy card that they've been chasing. Maybe they want to buy packs and open them up. Maybe they want to buy some of the mystery stuff that they put together over there at One Stop Card Shop. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to this Facebook post from One Stop Card Shop. And in the comment section, same thing we did last week. You could tell them your favorite football player. You could tell them your favorite Pokemon. They do Pokemon cards. You could tell them that I sent you. You could just tell them how great they are. But somebody who comments on the One Stop Card Shop Facebook post here is going to take home that CJ Stroud numbered rookie card from my friends at One Stop Card Shop. Not a lot of card shops in this part of town here in Houston. Happy to have One Stop Card Shop over here in Bel Air. They're right around the corner from me. Fantastic location, lots of parking around the shop, and lots of options in the shop. If you're starting your collection, if you're adding to your collection, if you are trying to buy gifts for people that have card collections, One Stop Card Shop can help you out from individual cards to packs to getting stuff that you want to baseball to football, UFC, all sorts of stuff. One Stop Card Shop TX has it all, and gift cards are available. And this is the post. Comment on this post. Tell them how much you love Houston football or how much you want this card. You've been looking for that card, but One Stop Card Shop TX. And somebody who comments on this post is going to win themselves a CJ Stroud rookie card. So appreciate One Stop Card Shop for their support of the channel. Ado, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you for the kind words earlier. Thank you. Thank you. Sid asks, how can we get the third or fifth spot in the playoffs? Also, if Woody and Chubb doesn't go, what should be the running back committee? Figure it out. I mean, I'll answer your second one first. You're just going to have to piece it together. I'm not saying for you to figure it out, Sid, but they're just going to have to just throw it together and just try to come up with something. Okay, they're going to have to try to come up with something. Dario Gumbawale, British Brooks, maybe Gerard Jordan off the practice squad, and then Cody Schrader, who they claimed off of waivers this week. So those 4 guys, they'll just have to as if you're missing Chubb and Woody, none of those guys is give him all the carries guy. Not at all. Your other question, how do we get the 3rd or 5th spot in the playoffs? Okay, we can go through that. Actually, kind of a little bit of an alley-oop here. I got it ready to pull up. So how do you get the 3rd or the 5th spot? So right now the Texans sitting in the 7th spot in the AFC South. In the AFC. Behind the Jaguars in the AFC South, ahead of the Colts by virtue of the head-to-head victory over the Indianapolis Colts. So how do you get up to the 3rd or the 5th seed? Well, it feels to me like the AFC South winner is going to be the 3 seed. I don't believe the Patriots or the Broncos have enough from their opponent's standpoint to fall down to the 3 seed. So it feels to me like the AFC South champion is going to be the 3 seed. So to get the 3 seed, you need to be the AFC South champion. How do you get there? It's very simple. You win the next 4 games, and Jacksonville loses their game against the Denver Broncos, and you're the 3 seed. You're the AFC South champion. You will host the 6 seed, which in all likelihood should be the Jaguars. Okay? But you need the Jaguars to go 3-1, lose to either the Colts or the Broncos, and then the Texans need to go 4-0, and then they'll be the 3 seed. And they'll be the 3 seed in this one. Okay? So to get to the 5 seed, you'll have to obviously beat the Chargers. So this likely involves the Texans 4-0 as well. So to get to the 5 seed, you got to go 4-0 likely. You would need Buffalo to drop 1 game before then, because Buffalo doesn't feel like they're going to catch New England. So you need Buffalo to drop a game because you have the tiebreaker over Buffalo. So if you finish with the same record, you go ahead of them. So you need the Bills to lose 1 game. You could be the loss for the Chargers. The Bills have the Pats, the Browns, the Eagles, and the Jets. So really, the Pats and the Eagles are your best chance to hand the Bills a loss. But if the Bills go 3-1 down the stretch, you go 4-0 down the stretch, and Jacksonville doesn't help you out by losing, and they stay at the 3, you'll be the 5 seed. And you'll go on the road to either Pittsburgh or Baltimore. At this point, it looks like it's going to be Pittsburgh, but I wouldn't hold my breath, and I wouldn't count Baltimore out. And I'd much rather go to Pittsburgh and play Aaron Rodgers than go to Baltimore and play Lamar Jackson. Because if the Ravens do make the playoffs, they're a little scary. So that's how you get to the 5 seed there. And often you do that by going 4-0, and the Jaguars go 3-1 with a loss to the Colts or a loss to the Broncos. The loss to the Jets would help you, and I think it might get you there. It might get you there. But just have them lose the Broncos or the Colts, I know it gets you there. So that's what I would say about that. All right. Quick thought from my friends at Manta. You want to sleep better? Manta can help. Oh, Cody, what do you have on your face there? Oh, nothing. Just my tool for the best sleep ever. Get deeper sleep with a Manta sleep mask, a breathable, lightweight, light-blocking tool that takes away all the light that makes your sleep so much better, man. This thing is lightweight, and it blocks every bit of the light, and it's totally adjustable. It's not going to slip or anything like that while you're sleeping. I'm a side sleeper. This one doesn't move. You can even adjust where the eyes go. And again, breathable. Lets the air through. You're not going to get hot. I was worried I was going to get hot wearing this. That is not the case, my friends at Manta. This sleep mask, it blocks out all the light. It makes my naps even better. It's going to be incredible. I'll be conked out. I won't see any of that awfulness. Long car rides. Even better with Manta sleep mask. You'll be at your destination just like that. Get you one and get 10% off. Use my code STOOTS, STOOTS, in all caps, STOOTS, STOOTS. Get 10% off your order. The link in the description down below. My friends at Manta want to take care of your sleep. make it deeper than ever. I have plenty of comments, questions, joys, and concerns to get to. Strict Lace, you and Casario both think the O-line is okay. LOL. Not what I said. Let's be very clear about what I said. The O-line is not the only reason to blame or the only people to blame for the offense not being good. They've had solid moments. Is the O-line okay? They've had fine moments, but there's still issues with this offensive line, and they still have long-term concerns about the O-line. But, yeah, okay. They've had okay moments. They've had moments where you can win with them. They've had moments where they looked really bad. The third quarter wasn't great for the O-line. It wasn't great for the O-line, the quarterback, the offensive coordinator, the wide receiver. 320. Cody, my friend. Hope you're blessed, bro. Hope you're blessed too, man. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. Tazewell, without a Woody or a Chubb, there is no penetration through the gap. You know, if you're not getting Woodies or Chubbs, the Y factor can help you with that. The Y factor can help you with that. Right off of I-10 and Campbell. Tell them Cody Stoots sent you. A bunch of different ways to figure it out. I don't think they can help Nick Chubb or Woody Marks or Chubbs. Y factor can help. Even if we have to go to Jacksonville in the playoffs, they ain't scary. Our defense going to make Trevor want to retire. Yeah, look, ending up as the 6th seed and going to Jacksonville, isn't that one of the more intriguing scenarios, going on the road and really sticking it to I mean, it would feel very much like when the Colts came to NRG and stuck it to the Texans in the playoffs. Obviously, you want to be the 3 seed. That's the goal. You'd love to be the 3 seed and then have somebody upset one of those top seeds or have a couple of upsets head your way and all of a sudden you're hosting some playoff games. Wouldn't that be nice? 5 seed's not bad. Going to the AFC North champion, likely Pittsburgh. And really, your defense plays so well. None of these seeds are awful. And nobody's the big bad in the AFC this year. So it doesn't matter a ton to me where the Texans end up. You know, and beating the Cardinals one step closer to getting into this thing. And officially getting into this thing and having an opportunity to take care of some business. Chargers are the last big game. Look, I mean, you stub your toe in one of these final 3 games, one of the final 3 games that's not the Chargers, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad. So don't stub your toe. Don't stub your toe. Buffalo could lose to both New England and Philly as Philly is entering panic mode. Yeah, I don't know if Philly's entering panic mode and they're going to be good for it, or Philly's entering panic mode and they're going to be bad for it. I can't tell. They had some stupid inflatable in their locker room called the positivity rabbit. Went and got their, went and lost Monday Night Football, and they had to take the stupid blow up rabbit out. Positivity rabbit out. Okay. What's Carlos Hyde up to? You know, I don't know the answer to that. He only played one more year after Bill O'Brien told him to hit the road? Or he played a little bit more than that? No, he played a couple more years after Bill O'Brien told him to hit the road. So Hyde played with the Texans 2019, played in 2020, 2021, and then that was it. He was good in 2019. I mean, good for what you needed. And then, the David Johnson BS happened. All good, 29-81. Singletary, LOL. I would have tried to trade for Devin Singletary if I was the Texans at the trade deadline. I don't remember if that totally lined up with when Scatterbo got hurt or not. So they might have just told you to hit the road. But Devin Singletary is a nice veteran, depth guy. I'd rather him run the football than Dare Gumbawale. Since we refused to use Noel on offense, can we put him at running back? Well, that's funny. Now that's funny. I do want to get a couple of comments in here from D'Amico Ryans about the Cardinals. Because I think there's a little juice to the Cardinals coming into this one, despite their record. And there might be a reason why there actually isn't any juice. So I'm going to play a little devil's advocate on myself here in a moment. I have to tell you about my friends at TDECU. TDECU, get that Houston Texans debit card, and it's fantastic. 20 minutes in and out one of the 15 greater Houston area locations, or start the process right there online with the tdcu.org/Texans link that is in the description down below. Head over there and you can find out all the perks about your card, all the different options, checking account, your savings account. If you got a business account, TDECU would love to have it. They're a credit union. They can do more for you than the typical places where you put your money. TDECU wants to take care of you. TDECU wants you to feel great about where your money is, and they want you to have that beautiful Houston Texans debit card. If you're a resident in the state of Texas, you can sign up for TDECU. You can become a member. Membership's required. They're insured by the NCUA, but TDECU can take care of you. Tons of perks and advantages to being a member at TDECU. Your credit union, not just a slogan, they make it worth it. When you are a member there, they take care of their members. A couple things from D'Amico Ryans about this matchup. And you see the opponent coming to town here, the Arizona Cardinals, and the record is not good. They are 3-10. They are losers of 5 straight, while you are winners of 5 straight. And they've had some really bad losses in these 5 straight losses. They lost by 22 points to the Seahawks. They lost by 19 points to the 49ers. They absolutely blew it against the Jacksonville Jaguars a few weeks ago, and they're coming off just getting their head kicked in by the LA Rams. So while I say all that, you understand the caveat of when I say that there's a little juice to the Cardinals. They might have been just juiced out. They might just not have any more because of the 5 losses stacking up, probably going to fire their coach and kind of being a rudderless ship. So they might just have no juice. It might be close to 1-2-3 Cancun territory over there on the sideline. But their quarterback has had some really nice moments. They've got a really good offensive weapon or two. And, well, don't overlook them, says D'Amico Ryan.
Quarterback is playing at a high level. I think he's, probably one of the better quarterbacks that we'll see all year. Like when you talk about decision making, like where he can place the football, he doesn't make bad decisions. He's not forcing the ball. He's not there. He's taking his check down. He's tough in the pocket. Really great versus the blitz. So you try to blitz him. He's made plays. He's shown to, drop some dimes on the sideline. So, I'm impressed with Jacoby and what he's been able to do.
Jacoby Brissett, 3 victories against the Houston Texans for 3 different football teams, including very early in his career, a Thursday night football just smacking of the Texans when he had barely played any football. And he had a victory with the Colts. I think it was the Dolphins was the other team. Maybe it was the Browns. I think it was the Dolphins was the other team where he beat the Texans. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett's had some really nice moments here at the quarterback spot in the past few weeks. And certainly there's some early success from the Cardinals in some of these games. I know the game ends up in a big blowout, but there's been some early success. They also possess one of the best offensive weapons in all of football, Trey McBride.
McBride is a really good player. The thing that jumps off the tape for me with him is his speed and explosiveness at the tight end position, right? You truly feel like a bigger guy, but runs like a wide receiver. Really runs well. He's physical, really great hands. They do a lot of cool things and a lot of different ways to get him the football, whether it's the tight end screens where he's on the line. They can align him in a lot of different places where they have him running, special routes across the field. Like he's a unique player at the tight end position. He's done a great job of catching the football, and they've done a great job of scheming plays for him.
McBride's tied for the reception lead in the NFL. He's got 93 receptions. He's had 8 touchdowns on the year, almost 1,000 yards. He is fantastic. Now, the Texans have had some success against tight ends. Guys haven't had huge days from the tight end spot. Obviously, Kelsey had a tough one last week. Warren scored a touchdown, but he didn't really dominate the Texans. Kittle earlier this year, again, scored a touchdown, but didn't dominate the Texans. But I say all this about the Cardinals, and they've had some okay starts to games. Don't be surprised if we're sitting there in the second quarter and this is a close game. And Cardinals gimmick together 7-10 points in the first half, and the Texans offense is kind of, puttering along. don't be surprised if this thing is close in the first half. It'll be a true test and measure of this Texans offense if they can put some points on a Cardinals defense that, frankly, has not been able to finish games very well in the past few weeks. They have not done a good job of keeping opponents off of the scoreboard. They've done an okay job of putting a few points up early, and then it kind of trickles off. And I'm not worried about the Cardinals scoring a bunch of points. I am a little worried, to kind of bring it around to the thing we talked about at the very beginning. I'm a little worried about the Cardinals scoring, enough points and the Texans not scoring enough points. That is a tiny concern of mine. So D'Amico Ryans has some nice things to say about the Cardinals. And he's a big Buda Baker fan. He talked about the defense. That it's a 3-10 football team. It's a team that probably could be close to 1-2-3 Cancun. But don't be surprised if we're sitting there in the second quarter Sunday afternoon and we're like, well, this thing's a little bit closer than it should be. Just don't be surprised. It'd be nice, though, if we weren't and the offense was just rolling and the defense was doing what they do. Okay, speaking of doing what they do, Texans Turf does what they do. They'll put turf in your front yard, your backyard, your side yard. They'll put a putting green in your backyard. Put a putting green in your front yard. You'd be the neighborhood king if you have a putting green in your front yard. Play areas, customized to exactly what you need and want in your backyard or wherever you want to put turf. Dan the man at Texans Turf can do it. No job's too big or too little. It improves the value of your home. Always green, always clean. Get your Saturday and Sunday mornings back. No more long yard work hours, making sure that the grass that is brown most of the year is less tall and less brown. No. Always green, always clean with Texans Turf. Get it put wherever you might want to put it, and get that free estimate schedule at texansturf.com. And when you talk to Texans Turf and talk to Dan the man at Texans Turf, tell him Cody Stoots and Landry Locker sent you. Just appreciate it, Texans Turf. All right, a couple more comments, questions, joys, and concerns. We'll get out of here and get you ready for practice this afternoon. Hoping for a lot of returns from the did not participate yesterday. Hoping for a lot of returns, including Woody Marks. That'd be a big one. Be nice to see. JT Salvador. Yo, Cody, good stuff, bro. Hey, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for watching. Mike's book reviews. Check out Mike's channel. He does a fantastic job. I saw our game with LAC got moved to 3:30 on a Saturday. I guess they're getting us warmed up for our annual wild card weekend spot. Yeah, well, it's not going to be at NRG Stadium if they don't get the 3 spot. Obviously, if they get the 3 spot, it could be. But, yeah, they're getting you. Get ready for the Saturday afternoon game. I do like getting that game with the Chargers kind of out of the way for the weekend because there's some games that matter that'll play out throughout the rest of that week of the NFL schedule that'll help kind of dictate everything. And then you get to scoreboard watch for a whole day. So I kind of like that Saturday matchup with the Chargers a couple days after Christmas. Tazewell, I mean, yeah, the 1-2-3 Cancun. Cardinals guy on the NFC West roundtable said he thinks a lot of Cardinals players have given up. Yeah, they're banged up too. I mean, they've got a bunch of guys hurt. Looking at the injury report for yesterday, I know we look at the Texans injury report, but let's see what the Cardinals are missing. Cardinals are missing Buda Baker. Cardinals are missing Marvin Harrison Jr., Paris Johnson, DTD, one of their safeties, Thompson, another one of their safeties, Dalvin Tomlinson, one of their defense linemen. Now, some of these guys are resting, and some of these guys have actual injuries, but the Cardinals banged up a little bit in this one too, and yeah, very close to 1-2-3 Cancun. JB Allen, he wanted 4 shutouts this year. He needs 3 down the stretch to get to that 4. He thinks the Cardinals could be one. I don't think they're shutting them out, but could they have a big victory? Yeah, certainly. Certainly. Jerome Kick, Stingley's going to get most of his targets of the year. Him and that secondary. Brissett not scared to throw that ball. Should be fun. Yeah, test Derek Stingley at your own risk. A couple of guys haven't tested in the past few weeks, and when they have, it's not worked out in their favor, but test them at your own risk. Nah, Cody. If the Texans do what they do, this should be an easy one. RGA gifted and talented. RGA gets them talented. Hey, you're right. Maybe if the defense plays like they have been playing and the offense gives you just enough, you should walk out of Sunday pretty comfortably. Pretty comfortably. And as BG says, hit that like button. Okay, housekeeping here before the end. Remember, Spankies tomorrow, arrive at 3, live at 4. Bring an unwrapped new toy. You'll get a raffle ticket. Fun stuff coming your way in the raffle. So check that out. Don't forget to like One Stop Card Shop TX on Facebook and go comment on the Facebook post. Okay, somebody's going to win a CJ Stroud numbered Topps Chrome Black rookie card. Look at this gorgeous football card. And I'll throw some more cards in there from my personal collection stuff I have. And then somebody else is going to win some other Texans cards. So, check that out. It's a fantastic looking card. The link to the Facebook post that you need to comment on is in the description. So check that out. What am I missing here? SNL this afternoon. SNL live at Spanky's tomorrow. The checkmark game in the morning. I think that'll do it. I think that wraps us up here for the housekeeping. Okay. Appreciate everybody. I cannot recommend the Sour Green Apple Ghost Warheads energy drink. Not my favorite. Not my favorite that I've ever had. If you like sour stuff, though, you like green apple, that's all yours right there. But not my favorite. Not my favorite there. But that was Caffeine with Cody this morning. Caffeine with Cody tomorrow will feature the checkmark game. So we'll talk to you in the morning tomorrow and see you this afternoon here on SNL. Appreciate everybody for watching. We end the live streams the same way each and every time. It's my hope for you. It's my charge for you as well. I want you to eat good. I want you to sleep good. I want you to be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hip-hoppity, dip-doppity-doo.